most valuable commodity I know of is information. Wouldn't you agree?
I'm Jack.
I'm Jack to the test!
Hi there guys, welcome back into another session. Hope everyone is doing well. Some beautiful levels developing that I'm going to look at with you today on the Bitcoin chart. We'll have a quick look at ETH and Sol, as well as DT takes office yesterday, inauguration day yesterday. Some absolutely beautiful memes coming out on the timelines. Absolutely brilliant. Really funny, isn't it? I thought it was quite nice to see it actually. Yeah, I thought it was quite nice to see it, and I did actually quite enjoy his speech, especially, you know, living over here in the UK at the minute. I wish we had a little bit more patriotism than we are seeing at the minute. But yeah, weekend was obviously some really mad action, wasn't there, from the Trump meme coin coming out. Europeans absolutely missed that, although it has to be said, when I first did wake up, it was still floating around 12, 13 dollars, but had a bit of a busy weekend, so didn't get involved in that price action at all, so can't comment on that too much as it comes down now. But yeah, interesting to say that when I posted this cover last Tuesday, fun allowed with Trump and the memes and everything else, did I expect that? It would be brilliant if I did expect this sort of thing to be going on, but truth be told, no, I didn't whatsoever. You sometimes get a little bit of a feel for the market and what is coming and going, but no, didn't expect these kind of shenanigans. 8 billion market cap on a meme coin. Yeah, ridiculous. Right, let's dive in, shall we? Let's dive in. Let's go to yesterday's post and have a look at what we are seeing for the next 24 hours and where we've come from and where we are going as usual. Okay, so yesterday morning, very quickly, I'll look at the tweets quickly because I've got the charts here. Nice and easy just to bring these up, just for a little bit of reflection on what has come and what is going to happen potentially. Okay, so clean pullback to key levels yesterday on Big Boy BTC. Classic tier levels, lovers should be enjoying that. Okay, we pulled back right into this nice zone. What is this zone? It was the previous 4-hour range value area high. Okay, so I woke up, saw this, open interest was low, volume had been whacked, liquidity had been, you know, demolished out the market as late longs into this area got absolutely liquidated. My opinion was that this was going to float up. I went for a run, came back and saw this, right? So absolute madness, isn't it? So 6 a.m. my time, I'm an early riser. I'm normally up at 5:30 in the morning. 6:30 my time, up. As soon as I saw this, this 110 defense, and especially with these sort of ratios, I did post to the guys in Discord. I said, look, to be honest, this is now looking at a good risk reward short. This pump has just added over 1 billion aggregated, over 1 billion in open interest, just because we were floating on negative 600 million open interest there. We moved up and pumped to a positive 600 million aggregated. So 1 billion in open interest on a Monday morning in the European session. Okay, so yeah, posted to the guys in the Discord, said, look, great an hour on BTC now, later on into the morning. You had a little bit of time if you wanted to execute in there. I think it was an absolutely textbook short trade, to be honest. Just back down. We're talking day trades. We're not talking about selling all your spot or managing those kind of larger time frame portfolios, but a great hour trade. And actually, even if you caught the long side there, look at that, really nice, just absolute fire and forget. Textbook trades from the TRDR console. Go grab a link from below for a free trial. And then obviously I was just posting the trading view chart for the guys there as well. And that's all you look for, you know. Just get a piece of the action, grab a few percent out the market, go and get a good night's sleep, and here we are today. So we'll go and have a look at what levels are going on today. But yeah, interesting. Some alts were actually in some demand zones yesterday. The alts are still battling these demand zones now, so we'll go and have a look at a couple of these just on a classic tier view in the trading view chart and see where we are. 20% off the data driven market analysis course still. If you're in need of a little bit further education, go and grab a link from below and check that out. All right, guys. But yeah, interesting times ahead, certainly. America is going to Mars. Yeah, I just wish they'd get some of that alien tech instead of having some of these rockets that are fired by propulsion and all that shit. They're just like tin can fireworks, don't they? No way I would be travelling up on a tin can full of rocket fuel. Right, let's go and have a look at some trading view charts. So, look, here's our 4-hour chart, okay? Do we want a little bit of a top down? I think we do very, very quickly, as a lot of people, the nerds on Twitter, are calling for a top in the market. A lot of people are saying this is nowhere near a top. There's a lot of on-chain BTC data that is saying this is nowhere near a top. We're not frothy enough yet, but there's no reason why it couldn't be a little bit of a local top, okay? So just looking at the weekly chart here, okay, we've got some levels lower, okay? So we're just... Here's our weekly open and close here around that 101k level, and it's gonna be, this weekly chart, okay, this weekly candle, should I say, looks a little bit horrible now. Yeah, it's only Tuesday. Chill, cool your jet, Starsky and all that shit. It's only Tuesday. Let's see what develops. Okay, no hysteria, please. Let's just trade level to level. But we are certainly coming down now, and that was the area one at that up at that 108, 109. Said to the guys yesterday, it's a good risk reward shot, and we've got it. Okay, if you're managing your risk from there, then as traders, depending on your executions, suggest, do you want to hold it for longer? Okay. If we get some heavy demand in here, we'll have a look at the TRDO console in a second. Maybe you take profit, and then you look to put a little bit more risk on. But yeah, weekly chart, okay, you've got the levels here. There's your weekly open now. So we're just back down, coming down to that weekly open now. Let's have a look at the daily chart. So daily chart, I think it's actually looking quite nice. Could this still potentially be a lower high, okay, from your all-time high there? Yes, very much so. It has to be considered, okay? Do you rise up, okay? Do you get another little rush of bullish momentum, rise up, take the all-time high, and then come down? I think that would be, if you are in favour of being a stubborn bear, that would be the real top risk reward swing short you would obviously want, okay, to put in another all-time high and then rotate down. I'm actually not thinking that far ahead myself yet. Let's just go level to level, okay? But here we are. Look, there you go. Weekly up on 101, 330. What is it also in confluence with? It's also in confluence with just this basic range. Yes, you're still in a range. You are trying to push out into the value area high zones, but you are just in confluence of this potential resistance, push through, swing failure, down, resistance, swing failure again, resistance, push up, okay? You don't even have to have these classic tier levels drawn. Just look left. Is it going to be resistance to support flip on the daily and 4-hour time frames? Very, very, very nice and simple. 4-hour chart, you can just see it more evidently there, okay? This is your 4-hour range. A lot of levels here. You've almost back-tested this trend line as well. I'm not a trend line trader. Sorry if you're into crypto. I don't know. I can't even remember the names of most people out there that trade triangles and trend lines. But it is a very nice backtest there, whichever way you want to draw that, okay? So I'm just going to put it there because it lines up. All right. I'm more of a horizontal line price action trader. Is the demand at the support level or below in the value areas? Okay, yes, there is. So here we are. Look, you are gaining a little bit of support here on that weekly open, on the value area high. It has to be considered here. Do you have to spend a little bit of time now? Okay, auctioning, as we call it, auctioning price in this zone. Okay, I always say imagine it like a true market auction. Okay, prices. Okay, so sellers up here. We'll go and have a look at that in the TRDR console. Sellers up here. There was no bid. Right, there was no bid to push this further on yesterday, so you have to auction price lower. We're now auctioning price lower. Is there enough demand in the market? Is there enough bid to push this further on, or do we need to come lower? Okay, do we need to find more buyers lower? That's what we consider as traders. Let's have a quick look at the 1-hour chart. So that was what I posted yesterday to the guys in the Discord. Quick flick back to that. That's what I posted yesterday to the guys in the Discord. So look, this zone is a brilliant R&R. Risk reward short, day trade short, whether you think you're going to hold it for high time frame or not. Short it, don't overthink it. you know, take profit, whatever, and then get back in the market if you think you're potentially going to put a bit of more risk on here. But I do like the way this chart is forming, and there is a lot of confluence as well in these levels lower. So there you go again, value area high, weekly open, and you've actually even got a 1 hour order block if you just want to scam, as we say, scam a little bit lower and get a little bit of extra value. You just got that 1 hour order block there. Where's that coming in as well? Just where the monthly VWAP is. Okay, right. It pains me to do it, but I'm just going to have a quick look at Ethereum. What an absolute bag of shit this is. It is still in its range. Let me just adjust this while I'm chatting to you guys. So it's still in its range. It's battling the point of control. It's I mean, this price action's absolutely disgusting for a chart, to be honest. This is quite nice. That's what you want to see, okay? Gathers demand, okay, at the point of control, rises up, that's a nice trade, fails, comes back down, hits that old 4 hour order block, and this chop here is just it's very indicative, and I can see it in the order books as well, as I don't think many people are trading even, to be honest, and you'll see that in the volumes as well. Sol, let me just go to a daily chart, because I always love the Sol chart, absolute beast. Whether you regard this as a Livermore funnel or not, I've had it drawn for a while. We got that old big deviation that we saw on the video the other week, okay, and we caught on the live session. Big deviation down into that 4 hour and absolutely beasting up, okay. Now, I think Sol is really going to need some strong demand to push it back up. After such a push like that, you know, you can draw some fibs in here, whatever you like, but your monthly VWAP there is at 224. I'm hoping, I don't like to say that word, really, but I think Sol could do well still if the market is going to get some continuation, okay? So you don't really want it to hang around here too long, okay? If it just starts to dribble down and fall back to trend, down into that 200 level, it's not going to look the best. Despite this rise up in Sol, really, you want to get some quick continuation as soon as possible. All right, guys. Quick look at the king of the means, then Pepe. Unfortunately, full disclosure, I thought the bottom was going to be in around here, and I remember tweeting something about that as well, and it wasn't to be. I've got to say, I've not really been trading Pepe on derivatives too much, to be honest, but it's certainly a spot hold, and I think it will do well in the coming future. But yeah, this is, you know, I've had that alert on here for a while. We've not quite wicked into it yet, but Pepe 4 hour OB bid, okay, and I normally put a question mark on there as well, because it's not always a guarantee. I don't always drop limit orders in these zones. I like the alert to hit, then I'll go to the order flow and see if we potentially want to put a bit of a bid in. But yeah, actually, Pepe now, after that deviation, and not kind of, I was hoping this might be a little bit of a double bottom, and it's pulling down, isn't it? So, okay, yeah, we need to consider this, that actually, and I know some of the memes have got absolutely disgusting charts, haven't they? You know, Popcat and a few others, really, really terrible charts. Meme coin super cycle and all that business. not quite yet, sir, not quite yet. But look, okay, I like this zone again, but you have to consider this is now potentially looking like a downtrend for the king of the means Pepe. Just something to consider. You want to get a bounce here. You want to crack this high time frame trend line. Okay, you want a big push up. If anything, what do you then need to do? You need to create this point of control, and at the very least, point of control, but then the value area highs there as support. Okay, you want a resistance to support flip, and then you get continuation. You can get a lot more risk on. Right then, guys, let's go and have a look at Bitcoin in the TRDR console.
Well, in my book, you either do it right or you get eliminated.
Right then, guys, here we are concentrating on Bitcoin. If you want to have a look at any altcoins with us, join us in the US session in the TRDR Discord. All right, we'll go through altcoins then. But yeah, BTC still king of the market, and I just want to bring your attention to how clean the order flow has been. So yesterday, Asian session there, midnight my time, 1 a.m. More often than not, the Asian and US guys are driving the narrative for the market. European session not doing a lot. This in the European session yesterday was an absolute one-off, I do have to say. Okay, oh god, I'm on a 3-minute chart there. Let's must have been getting some tight executions in the trades yesterday. Right, so yeah, even this was a nice long yesterday. So if you are day trading, even scalping this environment, I'm sure you're doing very, very well. Don't overanalyze it. And I want to show you a couple of things, okay? So came down into demand yesterday, absolutely wiped out the open interest. Nick goes for a run, misses all that action, and then we come to this zone there. So posted for the guys yesterday that I think this is a great R&R short position. If you want a little insight as well into, I just posted that for the guys as well. Look, so that is just basically what's part of the academy for a typical, okay, short setup. Absolutely textbook there from the TRDR Academy. Still got 20% off. Go and grab a link from below, okay? But yeah, absolute textbook short, okay? There is potential sometimes that these levels can break, but the selling, okay, the selling in this zone was absolutely phenomenal. At the time of me sending a tweet out yesterday, we were hitting 90, okay? 90 ratio on Binance Spot USDT, okay? Coinbase, double band ratios, so 1 to 2.5, 2.5 to 5%. Again, 90 ratio in there. Sellers at the time, you can see we're green now. Yesterday, this was red, raw, 90 ratio. Brilliant, brilliant. Day trade, risk, reward, short, okay? Coming back to some demand now, okay? So that's where we've come from. This is where we are. And it has to be said, let me just go back quickly because last week, we were considering last week shorts, weren't we? Okay, so we came up from that point of control. Go over this very, very quickly. And we wanted over this 98k zone, okay, 98 into 100k. The trouble was the price action was very, very strong. What I said on the last live session was, okay, ideally what I want to do is a bit of a classic tier level. I want to see 102k before I consider a short. As we rose up just here into that 102k zone, there was no selling. There's no selling. So we were at range highs. We wanted to consider the shorts, but we didn't action a BTC short. I think the best risk reward short last week was probably XRP. We can go over that in the live session later. And even Sol has been super, super strong, but we didn't action it, okay? So we considered the shorts at the end of last week, but we didn't see enough selling. This yesterday, just, you know, I just wanted to draw the comparison between what we're seeing last week and why we didn't want to take a short. Okay, I didn't hit the red button on BTC last week in any way, shape or form. Okay, so I just want to draw your attention to this. Compare this zone. Okay, this was quite nice. Okay, this was quite nice, but just consider it's an old zone now. Okay, 100k was the range highs, old zone. Okay, so on the live we said, yeah, let's take that zone and then look a little bit higher. As we rose higher, there was no reason to short it yet, okay? No big top levels. The ratios weren't big, okay? So that zone to this zone, let's zoom in now and have a look. Let me just go back to that 5-minute chart for you. So here we are yesterday, okay? So Trump's inauguration, US guys are on holiday, the markets are closed, but there's some massive, massive selling in here, okay? What else has to be considered is Binance, okay, they'd lost a little bit of a bid, so we're liquidating people up here. They had a little bit of a top level there at 110, and then, yeah, okay, we did have some levels at 114, a little bit higher. But to be honest, the spot selling was just, it was so strong. It was so strong, 90 ratios in here. So your risk reward was just over that top level there. If anyone played that yesterday, really, really well done, okay? So here's where we are now. What can we consider, okay? So that's our value area high. We know we've got some weekly opens and some other classic tier levels in there as well. I think if you have still got some long risk on exposure, you really, you know, you want to see this level hold now, okay? And I'm gonna talk like a range trader, even though we've pushed out of the range here, okay? What you don't want to see now is price starting to auction below and back into this range. For me, that would show a lot of weakness, to be honest, okay? So ratios right here, right now, not bad, but not amazing. Certainly not as strong as what the selling was at 110, okay? So 56 ratio on Binance. Coinbase Pro, I've got a, yeah, nothing really. Let me just auto that. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, so Coinbase Pro, look, it's nice to see that Spot are still bidding these orders with these resting limits, but it's not the strongest at the minute, okay? That does, you know, it does have to be considered, okay? Yeah, okay. Binance Perps 95, again, it's an old area. I really don't want to see price action go down there. I think if you start to auction this range again, you've really got to start to consider, you know, if you start to get some of this, okay, you've really got to consider that you're probably then going back down to the lows, and then it's not it's really not going to look very good, okay? It's not going to show strength from the buyers. What you want to see, if you are still risk on and you're expecting a little bit higher, which I think you could get here, this is, it's not bad. I think you really want to see it. And you've got a little bit of a classic tier resistance to support flip, like I've mentioned right here, okay? You really want to see this dynamic bid continue for the next 24 hours and then to push up. And, it's the classic thing, isn't it? If you hit this 110 zone again, you want to hope that the supply here from the sellers is weaker and weaker. The more times you hit the resistance, the more times it's going to fail, okay? And that is as simple as it gets. All right, guys. So quick look at volume. Volume's not bad here, okay? So potentially if you grind out this area, what you want to do is watch the whale volume, okay, in the blue and the green here. Does the whale volume continue to rise up? Okay, you want the whale volume to continue to rise up. Ideally, okay, so funding's come down a lot since yesterday. Funding really rose up. Look at this again yesterday. Cluster here, if you're familiar with this Volume King template. High open interest. We added like $1 billion in open interest. It went from negative 600 million to positive 600 million. So just over $1 billion in open interest. LS ratio cluster as well. With that high funding in that zone, in a supply zone. Great risk reward short. Okay, but here's where we are now. Okay, so look, you can already see that, whales are kind of comfortable to put a little bit more risk on here, right? Cherry on the cake would be if retail starts to get really, really bearish now. So all the crypto nerds are basically saying the cycle's over. It forces retail's hand. They start to short into this classic TA level, okay? And if the whales hold this level, then you're just going to get that rise up. That's really going to look good. The cherry on the cake for this template would be if that open interest just comes down a little bit more. The open interest will come down a little bit more just by chopping people up in this lower time frame zone right here, right now. Liquidity, I just want to quickly show you liquidity as well. Okay, as we're in this, that's your range. Here we are, 4-hour chart. You can look at this on a daily or 4-hour. But look at these two, how many you got there? Okay, so you've got 12-hour candles there. 12 hours there. Look at what happened to the perps books there. Absolutely wiped out. Okay, so this is the order book depth, 0 to 10% perpetuals. Okay, perps books absolutely wiped out. People were just getting liquidated left, right and center over the last 24 hours. What can you say about that? Trade on the extremes, trade at the highs, trade at the lows. Don't get chopped up in this middle zone there. Okay, spot books got wiped as well. Open interest a little bit diddle in the middle. Okay, on this RSI metric here. Let me just go and have a look at a 1-hour aggregated then and see what's going on. Okay, so supply zone, not much volume going on because the US guys weren't involved yesterday. Open interest, pretty steady overall there, but you can see where we came from. So absolute negative open interest. Then you just got that quick rise up and now you've wiped it out again. All right, guys, so that's it really. I need a little bit more evidence. That's me drawing top levels again. I need a little bit more evidence of getting risk on exposure here. I think this could take a little bit of time now. To be honest, I think this could take a little bit of time, but it's certainly something to consider that if you want to stay risk on, this is the level to hold, okay? If price just starts to dribble down, okay, and does that classic TA thing of back testing this, then dribbling down, it's not going to look the best. I want to see signs of strength now for any risk on and continuation. All right, guys. So join us in the TRDR Discord a little bit later on in the US session. Grab a link from below for a free trial of the TRDR console. How the hell are you even trading without this data? We'll speak soon. Cheers.
I bet your margins are pretty nice and fat.
Let's not talk about my margins, by the way. Being nice and fat, that's a nice shirt. Do they make it for men?